Hi Salmon and Mabuhay! Welcome back to Philly Swiss. Now today we are back in another Vlogmas episode, and as you can see I'm all dolled up for the festivities. Now I will be talking to you about my favorite topic, food. And not just food, this is a Christmas food tradition, Pinoy versus Swiss. So most likely it's not going to be the same for all Pinoys and all Swiss, but we're looking at what exactly our families are doing, especially during this season when it comes to food. And what better way to learn more about each other's culture other than something to eat. So now let's not waste any more time and get started. So normally during this time, I would actually be in the Philippines together with my family, spending time with all of my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, and basically enjoying the time spent with family, being able to decorate the Christmas tree together, wrapping all the presents. That's how I learned to master the art of gift wrapping. Call me a rapper. So basically, it's really just a fun time for me. I really like and I really miss it right now. But of course, you know, it's not something that we can do now. I basically wanted to be able to fly back home. And this one I actually planned since last year that this would be the year we would go home. But not possible. So my favorite part about the tradition that my family does when it comes to food is basically preparing a big table with a lot of food, whether it's with pancit, spaghetti, fried chicken. We have also like queso de bola and also jamon de bola, and basically all of this food is just going to be gobbled up. Everyone can grab anything they want, they can have a taste of anything, and of course the favorite desserts are always there, the leche flan, ube, kuchinta. So all of these yummy treats that I wish I could make them at home, but I've only gone so far as to making leche flan and even egg pie at one point. So these are some of the foods that I actually like to eat whenever we're there, and basically it's so nice to, I don't know, maybe it's more or less just the feeling that you're enjoying the time spent with family, talking about most likely catching up from whatever's happened through the entire year, depending on how often or how less frequent you've actually spoken to these people. So for hubby's family, for our Swiss tradition part of this video, what his family actually likes to do is, upon gathering, we also, you know, catch up. We have an apero, have some champagne or wine, and basically the main meal that we usually have in the past, you know, how many years that we've been celebrating together is actually having fondue. Now, if you don't know what fondue is, you should have seen it maybe in my previous Swiss food video where we spent an entire week just having Swiss food. And basically fondue is melted cheese in a pot, and you have bread on the side where you stick onto a fork and then you dip it in that melted cheese pot and start eating while it's still hot. So it's really tasty, and there's always a go-to bag of cheese, whether you went to a cheese store or you went to Coop or Migros in the grocery to get that bag of moitié or something else, whichever the cheese mix you actually like. And of course it's up to the chef of the house to make their own additional tweaks, like how much wine they use or which white wine they use to cook the fondue. Also how much garlic is placed. You know, we love garlic, so it's not maybe the best option for a date. But then again, if you both like it, maybe you wouldn't care anyway. You might have found your one true love that way. But for this year, it's actually going to be changed. It's still cheese. It's actually raclette, and you would have also seen this in a previous video, which is the same one, the Swiss week food. And raclette is again melting cheese, but the difference is that you melt the cheese, or the slice of the cheese into a pan and straight into the grill where it's going to be melted. And then once you've basically transferred that onto your plate, you would have also been served a side of marbled potatoes that would have already been boiled, and then you can just start eating it. Top it with the cheese, add your condiments, whether it's paprika or dried herbs, salt, pepper, whatever. You can even have pickles, like the pickles with the cucumber or pickles with the onion. So you have some kind of flexibility in order to make such a delicious plate of cheese look so yummy. And basically with his family, there's a lot of wine, and so December is the season of drinking as well. So we will basically have a lot of choices in terms of red and white wines. It will just keep coming until you say stop, maybe. If it's really hard to resist, but at least I would have a glass of water somewhere nearby and just start chugging that water in order to slow down the effect of the alcohol, if at all possible. So now, ever since we started living together, it was basically me trying to figure out how am I going to basically marry these two traditions together, or our family traditions together. So what I've been doing is basically roasting a duck or a goose, depending on which one I wanted to cook in the year, and also preparing some kind of special beverage, and that is the winter sangria. And also on the side, I like to, well, it's not even on the side, it's actually Pinoy or Filipino spaghetti. So in case you don't know what it is, it's spaghetti with a sweetened tomato sauce, with ground beef and hot dogs. So, and I like to top it with a lot of cheese. Something that I like to prepare, if you know, time permits, which usually I make sure the whole of the 24th is spent on cooking and preparing everything. I like to make lumpia. Lumpia is our version of the egg roll, where you have the filling consisting of ground pork and shrimp. Mine doesn't have shrimp, but it has the ground pork, and I like to season it with salt, pepper, garlic, onions. So that's just something that I like to do additionally. So it really is a big feast for 2 people. So it will last us a day or 2. So we'd have maybe 4 meals of the same thing, but it's really nice. We like it. And the duck usually lasts us also until the next day. And instead of having it the same way that we would have it on the eve itself, we would actually use the rest of the meat of the duck to make sandwiches. And it's just really nice sandwich. I got this idea from watching Harvey Girls with Judy Garland. Basically just putting it into a sandwich and then eating it. It always looks so nice. So that's how I got the idea that we can have it the next day as a sandwich. So for desserts, this year I decided to bake a bunch of cookies. I was test baking some cookies a few weeks ago, which is the sugar cookies, which I've never made before, and of course crinkles, which I have made before, but it's the first time I made the red velvet version. So for this year, I basically chose to have both, because the red velvet just, you know, because it's red, it kind of fits the season. And also the sugar cookies, I basically wanted to make it with the royal icing, but I'm not sure if that's something that I'm brave enough to try on my own. But I'm still in the works for actually preparing it, so I think I'll be able to succeed somehow, and it will still be edible even if it's not perfect. And that's something I learned for myself. You can't be perfect 24/7. It's only a matter of how far you can get yourself in terms of a project that you want to achieve. So definitely royal icing is going to be a challenge because I've never made it before. So this feast basically is the same as what we would have for New Year's Eve. So making sure that I have the bird ordered and delivered at a certain point in time in December. so that we don't run out of the bird before we could actually get it. We've seen this before, that we nearly missed out on a bird during the Christmas season because everyone has bought it in the groceries and online shops are running low already because, well, there's only the tiny little ones left. So, you know, if we didn't have a choice, we would get those, obviously. But when we had the choice and we knew how to plan for it, we knew already the timing, okay, this is how soon we can get it and this is how late we can get it. We really don't want to reach that red line where it's really, really late and then we barely have any choice anymore. So we always go for the earlier one. Something that we have in common is basically being able to open our presents already on the 24th, which is the eve of Christmas. So we wait all the way until midnight and that's when we start tearing those gift wrappers apart. I have done my very best to wrap hubby's gift twice or 3 times just to make sure he doesn't open it too early because he's been very curious. So I hope he'll be very happy and very excited because he said he really wants it. And in case you are curious what it is, just pay attention to my Instagram stories and posts and you will see exactly what it is he wanted. Something that I really like about the Christmas here is the time spent in the Christmas markets. It's so nice. They have these little cottage-looking houses and they're just decorated properly. They're just really decorated very Christmassy and it's just, it gives you that jolly good feeling that you're definitely in the mood, you're set in that perfect scene, that it is Christmas and it's just the season of celebrating. You have the Glühwein cottages and you can just get as much Glühwein if you want. And Glühwein, in case you don't know what it is, it's basically warm wine. It's heated wine. And there are different variations on how this wine is prepared. Sometimes it has an extra kick from an additional liquor, which I'm not the one who takes it. Someone else over here does. But even just the simple one is already good enough for me. I'm really satisfied with it, and this is also the first year I am going to make it at home because I have a bottle of Glühwein waiting to be made. Now that, of course, we're sure that we're not having it outside. And also the cider, very, very, very happy with the cider. It's just really nice for the weather. Whenever it's this cold and finally the booths are out or the cottages are out, it's just nice to have that warm weather drink because you're not that keen on staying inside. So you're not also keen on staying outside and freezing, but you have this really hot cup beverage steaming in the air waiting for you to take a sip. So it's gonna last me a long time, like maybe an hour for this tiny cup, whereas someone else over here would basically finish maybe 2 by then. So yes, I am pacing myself. I like to pace myself. I think it makes more sense on my side. Doesn't mean I'm not enjoying the company I'm with. It's just I know that I can't pay attention anymore if I have too much. So something I like to do personally for myself is basically me starting to listen to Christmas music at the beginning of December. I do have a Christmas playlist on Spotify that I listen to, and it is a mixture of traditional Christmas songs and also some ballets. Nutcracker, it's kind of hard not to listen to Nutcracker during the time of Christmas. So that is one of the few things that I like to do week after week, day after day in December. And also, I like to start playing Christmas movies. I do have a list and I did start compiling them in IMDb many years ago or many moons ago. But I stopped looking at it because I just started to accumulate too much. And I always anyway end up watching the same movies that I really, really like. So that becomes the routine, and because of Netflix, I started to watch even newer Christmas movies. Personally, I don't think they're of the best quality, and maybe the storylines are a bit cliche already because they've been used over and over. And some of these Netflix Christmas movies are mostly have the same, let's say, lesson learned. But I still like watching it. It still has a Christmas theme and it's not terrible. I actually really like watching it, or even while I'm cooking, I leave it to play in the background. And it's just nice. I like that there's this Christmas feeling and happy endings. So that's something that really just takes me out of my zone when I'm always in the middle of the hustle and bustle, work here, do that, anything when it comes to work or personal life that just keeps me too busy to stop. That's basically where the Christmas movies comes in and the Christmas music comes in. It just slows me down, it relaxes me, it de-stresses me. So that's one of the few things that I really like to do for myself. And apart from that, what goes really well with watching Christmas movies? A cup of warm chocolate. So I have these chocolate tablets that I got from the Philippines, and what I like to do is just melt it in a pot with hot water and then top it off with steamed milk. So I do have a milk steamer as well, and then if I had the option, I would put whipped cream on it and basically Starbucks it up. But I don't have any whipped cream at the moment, and I keep forgetting that I do want to have it every now and then, but I feel like I'm not gonna consume an entire can fast enough in order to make it worth keeping, because maybe I end up spoiling it because I don't really want to use too much of the whipped cream. So it's fine. I will have my warm chocolate as it is. I do also have these chocolate flakes that I got from Springly, and that's also really nice. My chocolate tends to be really dark. I have this thing for having like either, you know, dark roast coffee or dark chocolate. So that is my preference, and then if I do need some sweetening up, then fine, I will add some brown sugar. But other than that, I like it as it is, and yeah, I don't think I would ever change it anytime soon unless someone changes it for me. Maybe adding the peppermint once in a while so that I can have a peppermint hot chocolate. That would be an option as well. Wonder. So what about you? Do you have any Christmas traditions that your family likes to do every Christmas? If you do, leave it as a comment down below, and I will really like to know what exactly it is that you guys are doing that maybe you find even more fun, and it might be something that we would also find fun to do and add on to our tradition. So now you know a little bit more about me and our family traditions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and hit the notification bell to be notified for future videos. As always, I'll see you next time. And and paalam.